Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And today I'm up with a personal haul project share, and we're going to make it, or we're going to make part of it. And today, along with some of what I showed yesterday, I'm using these. Well, I have used these. I got these from Amazon about 18 months ago. And I don't think they sell them anymore, which is why I paid $8 for about 32 markers. And I'm glad I took them off the shelf to use them, because they're virtually all dried out. So I thought I'd use them and bin them. And if I ever spotted them again, never buy them again. Because, you know, for $8, if you can only get a couple of pens to work after 12-18 months, then really it's not very good. No. Right, so what else have I done? I've got my Black Soot Peel Paint, Victorian Velvet and Sponge Sugar. I've used those, and I've also used my Black Distress Archival for stamping. Now, the tree stamp, well, you know, the sort of like bark tree ring stamp that I shared yesterday, this is basically what I did with it. And then I blended with pink velvet and sponge sugar. I used a round die and I cut out a portion of that bark. I'm going to call it bark tree ring. Yeah, so I cut a hole in it. Right. And so after I cut a hole in it, that's what I ended up with. So I'd done that, cut a hole in it. That's my Victorian Velvet and Sponge Sugar. And this is the circle piece that goes into the middle, which is going to drop down there, because I've already got some foam tape on the back. This foam tape is a roll that I found from Alina Craft, because I went mooching through my stuff. Now, because I didn't want to have a white background going on behind all that, I roughly did a bit of Victorian Velvet on my back card, so that when it goes together, it will be like that. Obviously, it's going to be straight, but you won't see any white bit. It will still be pink, if you know what I mean. So that is going to go onto there like that, and I'm going to do it straight. And this is the stamp that I used, and I chopped the top portion off, and this is what I used those markers on, and my white gel pen. Yeah, I used a lot of white gel pen, and I chopped the top portion off because I figured that I wouldn't really see it. So my idea is this, and I went mooching and I found a really old ivy die, and so I cut loads out, and that's what I used the peel paint on. So I kind of want my chickie going on in there with you know, a wreath of ivy going on around it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fasten down my top and my circle, and I will be right back. Right, so that's all glued down, and next I want to glue my chickie piece, and I want to do it flat, slightly tucked in, with my little bit of grass overhanging the edge. So I'm just going to flip over my little chickie, and you don't have to sort of like go overboard with your glue, but do try to get the little fronds of grass there that would catch the edge, because they're going to be hanging out slightly. Right, so there's my glue on my chickie. And don't worry about when you're colouring with markers, because even though your ink leaks through, you can't see it once you've stuck your object down. I'm trying to think if that's the correct composition for me. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. So my chickie is down, and my little bits of grass are also down. Now, in the ivy that I cut, if I like I say, if I can find this die, I will link it below, but I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4 years ago when I bought it. But because I want to kind of like bring that in to what's going to go on outside, and I don't want to mask too much of it, I think I'm going to get a couple of these single pieces and kind of just finagle them into the grass, and the green bits that I can see, like there. I think I'm going to start by just gluing those two bits in. So my fiddly fingers, I have got my pickup tool around here somewhere, so I'm just going to go there, and then I'm going to take this one and put it here, and this is going to be slightly hung off the edge as well, so I'm just going to have to hold that with my finger for a second. Yeah, let me just pause and I'll be right back. Right, that's glued down, and I think I'm just going to go off to the back of the shell, the eggshell there, with a little bit of this, because you want to try and create a little bit of 3D depth if you're going to do something like this, and kind of make it blend in to everything else that you're trying to do. So I'm going to have a little bit of that going on behind, and I don't know if that one's too big to put there. I think it probably is. But you know, you can start looking for all your little sprigs and bits and pieces. It might be little bits of fern. I mean, that's a nice little piece. And I wonder if I should have that there, so that it's kind of like just touching over the shell and not glue that bit that's kind of like waving in the air. And I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to glue this bit and a couple of those. Don't need to glue it all. And then I'm going to angle it so that it's kind of meeting on the shell there. But you've still got a few bits that you can, you know, just get your poke tool underneath and lift them if you want a little bit of dimension. But there, that's just hanging over the back of the shell. I really like that. And then I'm going to use this piece. I do love the curve on that. So I'm thinking if I go down in my corner and it can start its way up around that circle, and that's when you start to see the bits that you put in the background kind of make sense. It all looks, you know, a lot more 3D. So I'm kind of going right into my corner, so I'm going to glue that bit. I'm only putting glue in the centre because, you know, I might get my poke tool and just start lifting some bits up. And I know this is vintage, and I know not everybody's into vintage, but you can do very similar techniques using cute stuff. So I'm just making sure that that is the angle that I want, because I don't want to bury my chicken too much. Right, yeah, I really like that. And this bit here is kind of like floating in the air. So I'm just going to hold that and I'll be right back. Right, I am pleased with the angle of that, and I did cut another one of these, and I think I'm going to put it here so that I've got a feeling of fullness when I put something larger over the top. So once again, you know, not all of the points, so that you can still go in and fluff up a few bits. Put that there. And I'm kind of, I think I'm just going to stick it straight down actually. Go over to that bit. And then that large one that I put at the bottom, I've got another one which is going to look quite nice, sort of like coming down upside down at the other angle, if you know what I mean. So we're going to have a look at that now. See how that looks. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Ooh, yes. Here we are, creating our little scene. Right, so blobs everywhere. I'm looking at my clock, and you know, I get complaints about my videos being too long, and I tell you what I've noticed, and I don't know why they're doing it. YouTube is putting a heck of a lot of adverts onto people's videos, and they're probably doing it to mine too, but because we're not allowed to watch our own videos, we don't really know, if you know what I mean. Right, I need to get that up there and angle it, but I don't want to hide my chicken's face. Right, that's looking good to me. So we're all looking nature and natural at the moment. And then there are lots of little twiggy bits that you can decide where you want to put them. You can just pop them underneath. In fact, I think I will put that one there because this space here is perfect for a sentiment. And actually I'm wondering, should I put that one there or should I put it there? I kind of like it coming off there actually. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying about adverts, I'm noticing that on some videos they're putting 2, 3, 4, 5, and if they're doing that to mine, I sincerely apologise, because I know I watch a lot of other people's craft videos. I always try to support as many as I can by, you know, giving the thumbs up and making a comment. But I'm having to watch a couple of ads before I get to see anything. So, you know, once again, I apologise for that. Right now, I've got some little swirly twirly bits that you usually get coming off vines. So, little dots again. Not all over, just in case I want to fluff it up. And I'm just going to go underneath that one and a little bit on top of that one, because that adds, you know, just a little bit of something. Yeah, a little bit of something is better than nothing. And then I'm going to go under that leaf with that and just pop that over there, because it's just a little bit of other detail. So I'm just going to put my tiny little dots of glue on there and go down in there and leave most of it floating. Now I've got all of my lovely little separate pieces, and my pickup tool was on my table. I'm just looking. Yeah, I've put it somewhere, who knows where, but it's going to be a real pain me trying to get these, because chop my fingernails off for gardening. But I'm going to put little dots of glue and just kind of like hang over the edge and almost be within the line of my card, if you know what I mean. And then I'll go in here, pop one there, and there are lots of them. And I tend to, when I'm using my distressing, is just sweep over the surface, because ivy is variegated, so it's going to be different shades of green. It's not all going to be one tone, if you know what I mean. But I kind of like the idea that I've got my lovely space here where someone can pop a sentiment after it's been gifted. Right, I'm going to stick that one into there. Now what I'm going to do is those few ivy leaves that I've got left, I'm just going to pause and put a little bit of foam on the bottom of them and make them a little bit more 3D, and we'll come back and stick them on. Okay, so I've got foam on all of these, and now it's just a matter of wherever it is you would like to put them. So all you're doing is going around the edge now and just creating a lot more dimension. You can have them going in different directions as well, which adds a little bit of interest, because ivy, being a wild thing, does grow all over the place. I know from experience. An old house that I had when I lived in the UK had ivy growing all up the side, and I realised one day the immense damage that it could do when it cracked the side of the house and went straight through my lovely stained glass window that was on the stairs. Yeah, so let that be a warning to you. I'm actually going to have that one going off there. Right, there it is, my lovely natural and vintage looking Easter card with my lovely chickie kind of like laid back, almost like it's in the hollow of a tree. I really like that. Lovely space there for the Easter sentiment. And I thank you so much for joining me today. Right, what am I going to be doing tomorrow? Who knows what I'm going to be doing tomorrow? And I've just noticed that this one came off, and I'm pretty sure I had it up there. There we go. I think I might be up with a design team haul tomorrow, so you'll just have to come back and have a look. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be, but I have had an email from the post office, so we shall see. But once again, I do thank you so much for joining me. Have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.